Hey, welcome back to Well Traveled. I'm on a series of videos about changing your relationship to the sun. I think the sun can be the single most important factor in changing your health. I think it's not only the most important, but it's also free, easy, without side effects. And so we have several other videos. I have one introducing you to the entire concept of changing your relationship to the sun based on all kinds of new research and information that we didn't have just a decade ago or more. I also have one on the power of sunbathing. I have one on why you should never miss a sunrise again or a sunset. I have one on why sunscreen is bad for you. And now I have one on what to do at the end of the day, okay? If you've watched those videos, you realize that we've established that the sun is absolutely essential to your health, absolutely essential every day, that you get the frequencies and the information and the vitamin D and the effects on your circadian rhythm and your circadian clocks every day from the sun. It is critical to your health. But what happens at the end of the day? What happens when the sun goes down? Well, I've talked about how it's important to see the sunset as well as the sunrise. The sunset also has frequencies, infrared frequencies, and information that you get from the sun at no other time of the day. And those signals, that information is basically telling your body, this is when it's time to quit. This is when it's time to wind down. This is when it's time to rest. This is time when to drop into autophagy or clearing out cells, etc. We literally evolved in the sun, and we need the sun, and that sun signals how we best function and how we have the highest level of health. So what happens in the evening? Well, you want to try to see the sunset, although the sunrise is much more important. Sunrise is non-negotiable. You must see that every day. The sunset's still important because it does signal to your body an ending of things, but some of that signal comes from simple darkness, so it's not as critical as the sunrise. But the sunset now takes us to a different sort of risk. It's not a risk from the sun, it's a risk from artificial light. Artificial light, your computer screen, fluorescents, LEDs, your phone, all damage your health. All have frequencies that are harmful to your health. And so you're going to want to block those. You can do the red screen block on an iPhone. I don't know if Android has a similar red screen block, but you're going to want to do that shortly after sunset. You're also going to want to do a nighttime block on your computer or your Kindle, wherever you can find those kinds of tools. You're going to want to switch out the lights in your house, frankly. You probably have switched to LED lights because they made incandescent illegal. But incandescent bulbs have full spectrum light. LED lights, fluorescents, indoor lights, artificial lights, they are full of frequencies that harm your body. They harm your skin. They send information into your eyes and onto your skin that tells your body a different time of day. It throws everything off. The harmful effects of artificial light is hardly being talked about by anybody. And again, blocking it is going to have a massive effect on your health. And it's really simple and it's really easy. I'm going to have a link in the bottom here from my favorite blue blocker glass company, and they've also been kind enough to give us a discount, a link for you as well, and that's an affiliate link. But there's clip-ons that you can put on your glasses that will block blue light at night, or you can just wear the full glasses if you don't have prescription for glasses or contacts. Blocking that artificial light at night is critical. You don't want to watch TV without these blockers on. You don't want to be sitting in a fully lit room or in front of a computer screen without these blockers on, especially after sunset. And so, and these tools are not expensive. I'm just showing you the company that I use. I like them a lot. They seem to put a lot of care into their craft, and they're also family owned. But the key is to block these artificial rays because one, you're getting damaging light in your eyes and on your skin. Two, you're getting incorrect information from these lights. These lights typically tell you it's noon. And if your body is attuned to circadian rhythm, you know, our ancestors lived by day and by night. They didn't have any artificial light. And what light they did have came from fire and candles, but those forms of light do have the correct information in them, do have the full spectrum in them. So they weren't harmful. So we've evolved to have the need for true light, even at night. But that true light is telling us a different time of day than what our computer screens are and our LEDs are, etc. So it's critical to block this light and to really be, you know, really think about it. I mean, and you have to remind yourself, set a timer. I mean, this is not something that's going to come natural, to be blocking blue light at night, to be avoiding artificial light at night. It's not going to come natural. Nobody's talking about it. Your friends and family may not even believe this information, right? But you start wearing those sun blocker glasses in the evening and oh, watch how much better your sleep is. Watch how much better your melatonin production is. Watch how much better you sleep, longer you sleep, how much better you feel. Now, there are some negatives. You're going to start falling asleep earlier in the evening. You're going to end up going to bed sooner than you really want to because you're going to get into this natural rhythm. We are meant to end our day in darkness and to start our day in light. And by the way, in the sunrise video, I talk about wanting to block artificial light in the morning as well. You can use the blue blockers for that, but you want as much of the first light in the morning to be the sun because that's telling your body what time it is and activating all kinds of chemical and hormonal functions in your body. And then what's the next step? What do you do for sleep? The research on sleep is fascinating. If you have just a little bit of light at night in your room, and that's typical, right, in a hotel room or an Airbnb when you're traveling, it's hard. Sometimes they don't have blackout curtains. Sometimes you might be in a downtown area full of, you know, nighttime lighting and that sort of thing. But just a little bit of light, one night, increases your risk of heart disease and causes insulin resistance. Those are the two things that virtually all Americans and Westerners have, and those are the two things that you can most easily fix at night with a blackout approach. I use, you know, an eye mask. I think one made out of silk is probably going to be easiest on your face and your skin. Try to, you know, tape over lights that are shining off the air conditioner, lights that are shining off your phone, charging, lights coming into the windows. Try to, you know, put the curtains the best that you can. Be really strict about trying to control that light environment because it literally can throw off your melatonin production. One zap of light. For instance, you get up and you open the fridge in the middle of the night, just for a couple of seconds, that will delay melatonin production by 90 minutes. So you have to be really strict about this. So control your light exposure in your bedroom. Use an eye mask if you have to, or blackout curtains. Block electronic devices in your room. You don't want night lights, none of that. The dangers are well documented in published research. Nobody's talking about this. That's why I'm so excited to be bringing it to you. Because it doesn't cost any money, it's simple to do, and there's no side effects. There's only upside to creating that beautiful, dark environment at night. So, there you have it. This completes our series on changing your relationship to the sun and light. This is really exciting information. I hope you'll try it. I've noticed big differences in my sleep and how I feel and how long I sleep, and so I hope you'll find the same. Anyway, as always, join us. See you next time.